Blizzard are willing to make big changes to WoW. Big changes in what way? Hopefully the right changes, the good changes, the changes we need to see. Let's see what Bellular has to say about changes coming to WoW.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Warcraft news. Let's just get stuck in with 10.2.6.
I'll never get
And
it.
as grim as the joke is, the skull and crossbones on the roadmap was not a tease of the shock layoffs that were faced by Blizzard. It is a patch, it is 10.2.6, and it's a patch that we'll see soon. The first public encrypted build hit WoW Vendor 3 last week, which then received an update. So that being updated does just show us that they're basically working on it. These are the breadcrumbs that lead directly to PTR testing. I imagine within a few days. The devs have, of course, been teasing with pirate.
I wonder how they're going to do the PTR test, because this patch has been kept under wraps pretty well. I mean, we don't know. We just hint at pirates. It's a pirate flag, but that's all we know. We know nothing else about this
Which
patch.
is right in line with that. We've got the pirate pet on Prime Gaming, and now I have a proposition for your person with today's sponsor, HelloFresh. I've been a customer of theirs since 2019, and the reason's pretty damn simple. I eat better food, I eat tastier food, I stress less, I've got less shopping, less food waste, and I save money. Because, yeah, turns out getting fast food is bloody expensive. So, if you go to HelloFresh.com and you use code BellularFree...
No lie, I freaking saw the other day somebody spent like $32 on one burrito at Chipotle. What the hell? What the hell? I mean, the prices of shit. I mean, I remember when I used to be able to go to McDonald's if I can spend like $5, get a full meal. Not anymore. It's like $30 to go to McDonald's.
For life, which means every box you get will have a free breakfast item.
It wasn't delivered
of your subscription.
But he got extra meat in the burrito. I don't know if that upped it, and he got avocado. But still, what the hell?
Cellular free, or click the link down below. Now, each box will contain meals that you select from the weekly menu of over 45 options, plus, of course,
so there you go. Stop getting burritos.
Fresh. They're
get HelloFresh.
Pre-portioned to save time.
Use code Bellular.
And for me, really, decision fatigue is a massive thing. So having HelloFresh handle recipe planning and shopping just eliminates stress. Because look, whenever planning fails, well, that's when doing an expensive fast food order happens. Plus, this way I eat far more varied meals than I otherwise would. Certainly being back in the city for the last month, I've really appreciated their service, and to take a look, here's the most recent meals that I've got. You'll notice they're all quick and easy meals. These are cookable in 15 to 20 minutes, which is dead handy for the schedule. And there's other types too, like Calorie Smart or Protein Smart if you want to hit those goals. And as for a recent thing I've been eating, this delicious and definitely a little bit indulgent pasta dish was, oh my god, it was so Moorish. Anyway, HelloFresh, an epic quality of life upgrade. You can check them out at HelloFresh.com and use code BellularFree for free breakfast for life. That's one breakfast item per box while you're subbed. Code BellularFree at HelloFresh.com, or just click the link down below.
There you go.
Thanks to them for sponsoring. Let's go. I did not see this coming. Blizzard are actually making big,
what did
chunky...
Did it say, like, insert a transition here or something? Did he just completely botch that? If the transition isn't working, visit what... Okay. Okay, I guess the transition didn't
Blizzard
work.
are actually making big, chunky decisions. GDKP runs are being banned for Phase 2 of Season of Discovery.
Ban hammer, bitches.
So essentially, if you're not up to date with these, in these runs, people bid for gear. And if they have the winning bid, they get the gear, and then all of the gold is pulled, and at the end, it is split between the other raiders.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, this actually is a great little system. It kind of creates a pug economy. Even if you don't get gear, you'll always get some gold, which eventually you can use to get some gear. Thing is, GDKP runs have always existed, but nowadays, community tools and culture just means that it develops super fast. And for many people in the various classic games, they feel it's gotten way out of hand.
It's been taken to a whole new, like, corporatized level. Like, yeah, GDKP, that shit been existing forever. People have been paying for runs for the longest time. But the level that it's hit, especially in classic WoW Season of Discovery where there are no WoW tokens too, it's insanity. It's insanity. People like who stream. And Zar, you told a story. He freaking farmed the shit out of gold. But then a whale showed up and literally just bought everything. Right? Because all he did was buy gold. So yeah, it kind of does take the fantasy out of the game when you just know the guy who's the richest in real life is about to get all the gear.
Basically, the more people are being pulled into GDKP,
it's gold sellers
and
that ruin
potentially
GDKP.
Then detriments the intended design of the game. As Blizzard even say in their post, the erosion of traditional guild and social structures. Now, something they're not shutting the door on for good. They're saying it's an experiment. So, in principle, right, I think that this is good. mostly because it's a big ballsy move. It's them grabbing the design
Yeah.
by the horns and actually trying to do something. That's the kind of energy I want to see, and certainly the energy that this team has been displaying time and time again. Now, there is, of course, the whole other side of this, where the gold comes from in many cases. Botting is less of a problem to be solved, more
If
of...
I had to guess, I would say in GDKP runs, at least 90% of the gold is purchased via these bot sellers and shit. And people are like, well, then don't kill GDKP, kill the bots. It's nearly, I mean, they could do it, but the amount of resources they'd have to put into it, it's just not worth it. They'll just ban the shit. They're just taking the easier route, but that's really the most realistic one because the other way is just, it's going to require an entire team to keep up with these bots.
Of a constant war
feasible.
to be waged. Then you've got hacked accounts. This all generates gold. A lot of that gold ends up on RMT. That's, real money transaction sites. So essentially buying gold outside of WoW token. And gold via those means supports things that erode the quality of the game, like the botting. Now, traditionally in the game, you either win a role, you have a guild loot council, or you have a DKP system, which, by the way, just stands for Dragon Kill Points. It's the idea of attend, you'll earn points, and
like
then you
loyalty
can spend
points.
them on loot. So gold is a natural evolution of that, but unlike DKP, where, you're attending or maybe a role, well, gold can fully guarantee the loot if it drops, like 100% to you. You just have to have enough gold. And this then incentivizes people to just buy a bunch of gold, which Blizzard doesn't want. So yeah, a focus on traditional pugs and guilds. A funny thing though, and let me know in the comments if you've experienced this, over in Live, recent changes to loot rules have actually created a whole other gold-related problem. Here's a great tweet. The person who won the role already had BIS, but because of the way the loot rules work, they could still do a need roll. So they got the need roll, they won it, and then because of the trading restrictions, they were able to trade that piece and trade gold. So they basically auctioned the thing for 1 million gold. And this is a problem that's getting worse and worse. I mean, normal and heroic mode are easier than they were in the days of Vault or past expansions, so there's way more pugging going on. And then for gold, like people would say that gathering isn't great for earning gold because of bots.
I just think like the raid leader should be able to decide from the start of the raid whether the loot is going to be personal or not. I think that's the best way to do it. Just like you pick your dungeon difficulty, you should be able to do the little drop-down clicky thing and pick what kind of loot you want. Because honestly, when we pug raid, I prefer it to just be personal loot. Just make it personal loot. Don't have these fucking controversies and shit going on. And then when you're raiding with a guild, if you want to make it group loot so you can actually divide shit out properly, then do that. You want to do master loot? Fine, go ahead. I just wish they'd give us the option. Yeah, all loot goes to Moishi, exactly, yeah. Yeah, but like back when we were doing Shadowlands pugs, it was personal loot. It was great. You didn't have to worry about that kind of shit.
Legacy, raid gold was kind of nerfed, and all of this stuff is just kind of combining with the group loot changes to create a funky situation. Now, normally, right, this is where I would scream, get a guild into the camera, but to
you
be
can
honest,
pick the freaking loot style, and in the queue, with the queue finder, if people are looking for the group, it should say the type of loot style that has been selected. And there you go.
given the changes to raid difficulty, Blizzard are clearly being pro-pug here. They want more pugs. This is a common problem, and it's definitely something that they should solve. Our next story then is the Season of Discovery team absolutely pumping, and maybe there'll be some good ideas here to roll into Modern as well. And to demonstrate their mindset, let's talk about Phase 2's changes. Now, it starts next week, and there's a lot. XP gains are being boosted by 50% up to level 25. But then, Black Fathom Deeps, that will actually grant increased experience when cleared, and Waylaid Supplies will see a big increase to XP for their turn-in. That basically means there is far less of a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Then, of course, new runes. The highlights are Eclipse for Druids, Trap Launcher for Hunter, Missile Barrage for Mage, Pain Sup for Priest, Shuriken Toss for Rogue, Maelstrom Weapon for Shaman, and Rallying Cry for Warrior. They're also adding in skill books that don't take a rune slot but do enhance your quality of life. Things like increasing the duration of blessings, combo point quality of life for rogues, totem relocation.
Damn.
Then, of course, Normagon's the new raid. Now, it's got a weekly lockout for the first 2 weeks, and then it's down to a 3-day lockout. And of course, we've got the Blood Moon event in Stranglethorn Vale. Honestly, even just in the name, I'm kind of sold. Now, this lasts for 30 minutes. It happens every 3 hours. The skies turn red, and the free-for-all.
That's so cool. I love these world events, man. I wish they would do more of this in retail. I'm not a classic Andy by any means, but the stuff they've been doing with Classic Season of Discovery, it's been great. Like, I don't play it, but I read about it. I'm like, damn, these things are implementing are really cool. And now we got a world event, a Blood Moon world event. That's awesome. We need more world events, man. I miss that stuff.
all begins. They've said there will be twists, of course, because it's the season of discovery. We don't exactly know what all of those are going to be. And it will punish raid groups. Of course, there's no better way to ruin a big, crazy free-for-all than people going in a raid group and, well, yeah, just zerging about. So that's smart design. There's also, by the way, a Chosen of the Bloodloa NPC that Fel Reaver style will march about the place and hunt people down. Overall, just really cool, really evocative. It's the sort of thing where if that was just going on for a bit in Modern, I'd absolutely be all over it. Beyond that, then, there's more. There's quest chains for professions. That's exciting to me. As an example, a prior one of those is what got us all of that Xalatath lore for Season of Discovery. So that's really exciting. 20 new recipes for non-gathering professions, an increased prof cap of 255, and new anti-botting tech that they can't really explain because obviously that would just help the botters, but they did say that they've had this anti-botting tech that has been in limited testing across like classic and modern, and with this they're planning a more full rollout. So to that I say hell yeah, that's really cool. And a little side thing, I love how Blizzard showed this off. It's just a 30-minute video. It's just slides with interesting information and people telling you what's up. I think it was great. So, yeah, I'm a fan.
They've been doing
Season
good with
Discovery is just doing so much right in my eyes. Hopefully some lessons get rolled into Modern. And big picture, the amount of experiments they're doing, that is really what fascinates me. They're being intentionally experimental. I can't wait to see what future things or projects or features they get greenlit based on what they learn here. Okay,
That's
next,
right.
we can go even more classic than classic.
Yeah, I
with
am advanced, bitches, okay? Like, here's the thing. The thing I like most about Season of Discovery is they can experiment and do crazy shit, and maybe it benefits retail in some way. That's why I like it so much, because they can kind of go off the wall with ideas, and they don't got to worry about it too much, because people who play Season of Discovery have accepted the fact that these kinds of crazy things can happen, and then you could experiment with it, and then see if it's good, and then put it in retail. Yeah, it's a good testing ground, exactly.
Warcraft 1 and 2, which are on the Battle.net store, but they're actually cheaper on GOG. Now, if you want something with more modern creature comforts and that's a bit more consistent with the most modern lore, you've got to check out Chronicles of the Second War. It's a fan project for Warcraft 3 Reforged that is awesome. It puts Warcraft 3 Reforged to shame, honestly. It's
crazy.
amazing. The first campaign is playable right now. I mean, that's a good few hours of fun for your weekend. Did you catch the drama? So here's the deal. The Corcoran Warwolf map for Ahead of the Curve Siege of Orgrimmar, which you can no longer get anymore, was dynamite with a cost of 7,899 traders tender, which definitely would have been some placeholder value for something else. Now, this led to quite the drama. The idea that prestige mounts that you earned by doing stuff in-game would be on the post.
Right.
This really did spark a drama. For some, it just felt like, hey, that was a unique thing that I did. It took a lot of effort getting ahead of the curve. Siege of Orgrimmar back then. Why is somebody else just getting it on the store? Others just kind of felt, all right, boomer, who cares? You could get a boost for like 10k gold back then in what was a 14-month-long raid tier. And there's been more people saying, this is the first bit. Soon they'll be selling gladiator mounts from past expansions.
Yeah. Look, I didn't want it to happen. I think those cool prestige mounts, those should remain prestigious, right? They should keep it that way. And this is coming from somebody who always loves the gladiator mounts the most and knows that I will probably never get them because I just don't do PvP. I suck at PvP. And I've accepted that, though. I'm okay with that. I still like to be able to see a mount in whatever city I'm in and be like, damn, that guy did that thing at that time. What a badass. I don't want to see these mounts show up on the trader's tender or the trading post thing. I don't. And people will say, okay, boomer, I don't know. I think part of an MMO is the aesthetic and the visuals of being able to, show off your achievements. And it's not an achievement anymore if everyone can just get it for some trade attendees.
To be honest, I didn't really care that much. I do actually have the mount for doing Curve, properly back in the day. But really my main takeaway here is Blizzard probably needs more ways to reward people, Fix hair so that headwear is exciting. Give us more hats. Do player housing. Give us stuff to put in our houses, that kind of thing. Anyway, the drama amounted to nothing. Blizzard noticed it and they said, at this time, we do not plan to offer mounts or other skill-based prestige awards from achievements such as Cutting Edge, Ahead of the Curve, or Gladiator on the trading post.
Yeah, but this language right here, at this time, we do not plan. Yeah, okay. Honestly, that means they're leaving the door open to it. Like, never say never. Never say never. Just wait. I'm just waiting for that for the long boy to show up. That's it. Then it's game over.
So there you go. Obviously, it could change, but they've outlined their principle going forward. Now, what is a bit weird
Or
is
the
this
spectral
placeholder
saber.
value. We
Oh,
often see a
shit.
placeholder of 999 tender in items, but what's also happened is another thing has been data mined. It was previously part of a Twitch promotion, and it's also got a really strange trader's tender value. To be honest, I've got no idea what this could be. Certainly, though, Korkron Warwolf from Siege of Orgrimmar, and a lot of just fragments of data mining are pointing towards Siege of Orgrimmar being worked on. So then, with Time Running Pandemonium being on the roadmap, and like some data mine strings, they said 10.2.5 Pandaria Time Walking Season. Obviously, it's not 10.25, it's 10.27. But yeah, I don't know, some sort of time walk.
Maybe a freaking typo or something. I'd look at the Brutosaur. I mean, yeah, I'd be okay with them giving versions of those mounts like a different color, right? Like give us a different color, give us an albino Brutosaur or something. I don't know, but the thought of the same exact mount showing up and then you never know anymore whether that person got it via killing the raid boss at the time or getting Gladiator in that season or they just bought it off the trading post, that would suck. Just give it a different color at least, Blizzard. Don't be too lazy with it. If you're going to do it.
Who really knows? Seems like an experiment, though, so that I'm pretty happy about. Trading post time. Blizzard have marked the anniversary of the post with another 500 bonus tender, which actually means you get 1,500 this month, which is pretty nice. There's also a mannequin toy for 10 tender and the X-53 touring rocket, which was a late Wrath-era recruit a friend mount for 100 tender. All kind of cheap. Prices have also came down. This is a good trend. I wonder how long it will last. The total for February is 6,735 tender, which is far lower than December's 9,800 or January's 8,500. And I think in items, it's a pretty strong month. We've got loads of Loves in the Air themed items. There's the Valajar set recolor, some real great looking weapons. Of course, the Love Witch set for completing the log, as well as a Flying Fox mount to go along with that.
Let me tell you, man, this shit, this right here, where is it? This has caused a lot of controversy. Every time I've posted a video and this shows up on YouTube, oh my god, the comment section, like, this is the end of WoW. This is it. World of Lovecraft, here we go. We're fucked. War is done. WoW is a bitch game now. Weebs come back to WoW. Like, oh my god. It's really bad. And like, I see some of it. I understand. And I'm not really for this in WoW either. I'd rather just see, bloody shields and swords and stuff like that. But hey, it's an MMO. Massive multiplayer, right? So that means multiple ways to play the game. Some people just want to, be Sailor Moon, running through a city and walk into a Moon Guard tavern late at night and do their thing. That's fine. Not everybody who's playing this game to kill dragons and have epic adventures. I understand. So we got to tolerate it. It's okay.
Well, as a Flying Fox,
it's not the end of the game.
Along with
just calm down.
But if you want the Twilight version of those, they're on the store right now. Basically, as a store bundle over here, it costs £25.
Yeah, it's the Goth Girl version.
It will enter the trading post at some point 3 months after the sale ends. And they also put out the Murloc Transmorpher onto the store. So that just brings me to the topic of money. Money, money, money. So, box price, subscription, cosmetics, character service. That is how WoW has been monetized since 2010, roughly.
Yeah, also don't forget WoW token for the legendary. Like, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do it. When I get the legendary, if it ever drops for me, I'm going to have to buy a WoW token. It just is what it is. Blizzard knows what's up.
I've actually forgotten its name. The Celestial Steed, yes, was put in. The frequency has certainly increased of these cosmetics, but there is a little bit of a difference in that these cosmetics are on the store for a limited time, and then they're on the trading post afterward. Now, look,
That's true,
overall,
Panda.
I would rather have none of this, just a sub fee and an a la carte experience. What I will say, though, is that there is a bit of give and take. Whenever we had the whole Boar Lords of Paymore drama back during WoD, people were kind of frustrated because they didn't feel like they were getting that many patches, yet they were seeing loads of store mounts. So in this case, I actually do think that World of Warcraft is seeing significantly increased financial investment from Blizzard. The team size is much larger than it was in the days of Legion or even a more recent expansion like BFA. And I suppose it's much like with FF14 fans in their store. This stuff gets a lot more palatable if, as a player, you feel like you're getting more from the game itself. And to be honest, looking at the roadmap, looking at the future plans, and where I've been feeling right now, I do think that World of Warcraft is a better value and a more well-rounded product. And I suppose
Yeah,
being
it
available
is.
for tender
I agree.
afterwards does make this sting less compared to what it could be, especially because the whole, like, selling bundles with tender thing, well, Ian said they don't plan to do that again, so...
We'll see.
Hey, you could always be monetized like a Destiny player. It could always be worse. And to round off the trading post, a bunch of stuff has been data mined. Some standouts here. So, Uther's Helm, it seems like you'll get that at some point in the future. Then, right, the Plundered Blade of Northern Kings, which, I mean, wow, yeah, that looks really nice. It's a recolor, I believe, of something that was on Island Expeditions. You've got, you know, the Argus light-themed gear from 7.3. There's a Void recolor of that.
This was interesting. In terms of lore, I'm wondering what the hell there is in terms of meaning behind this shit. Because it's the light-themed set, but now it's Void. What's going on?
Looks really cool, as well as a recolor of Legion's Season 1 crafted gear and a bunch of more simple weapons. You've got this like full lance, some axes, and dynamite. So yeah, it's all kind of neat. Okay, some other stories then. Did Queen Kalia not exactly sit right with you? Well, it didn't for many, and there's good news here. It's been hotfixed out. The developer explained that this was a typo that just slipped in. Actually, what happened is Queen Kalia was caught before the patch shipped. The thing was, though, this happened after localization lock. Basically, a lot of these things are done via quite a big process when your game has got to be localized into all of those different languages, and ultimately that led in the delay. I know that might seem silly to most of us, but yeah, stuff like localization can be a whole process.
They said it was a mistake that it ended up in the game, but was it a mistake in terms of lore? Because I don't know, she could still be be queen one day. Who knows?
Still, I'm happy. No Queen Kalia. I think a lot of people's worries there of her having an outsized impact on the Forsaken, well, those are hopefully not coming to pass. Okay, let's round off the week with some of the other stories. We've got 2 new catch-up items, one from Lindormi, the Mythic Plus NPC, and another one from the Conquest Quartermaster. If you've got over 1,000 M+ score, you can buy BOA gear tokens for 350 flight stones that will turn into a piece of eye-level 441 veteran gear, which can go all the way up to 463. And as for PvP, it's similar, but it costs 375 conquest points. So, there's that. Then Blizz have nerfed Morazon's Rise, which should bring its in-time ratio for keys being done closer to the high average that this season has enjoyed. It obviously was the lowest chance of success dungeon that there was this season. Yeah. Also, Feralath has been buffed again. Yeah, they're struggling to get that one right. Essentially, the Rage of Feralath cast is now affected by haste, so you'll lose fewer GCDs to it, and it's got a 15% damage buff.
Does Feralath go down as like the worst legendary ever? In terms of how much they've been trying to fix it, its crafting, its drop rate, all this shit, the bad luck protection, my god. Of course it's going to be the one that I can use as a Death Knight. The fucking one that I want is the worst one ever.
Then a new achievement has been added that grants you the amazing title of Champion of the Dragonflights. Yeah, family. After completing the epilogue, speaking of the dragons, well, Mythic Farak has been nerfed, and a black hat has been added to the tomes you get from the Azerothian archives. Yeah, look, this was not the biggest week of news, but I do think some of those fundamental things with the Season of Discovery team and Blizzard actually, number one, having some new anti-botting tech, that's really cool, and that they're willing to make a ballsy change like that on GTKP runs, I think that's actually pretty exciting. Now, 10.2.6 PTR will be any day now. Until then, here's a video for you to watch next, and seriously, if the War Within is of any interest to you, you gotta check out that lore video. It will make so much make sense. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
It's a good one. Yeah, the thing is, like, all that controversy about the damn, what's it called? The love events, the holiday, all that shit. People freaking out, man. Just play the game how you want to play it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I think Blizzard's been doing a pretty decent job in terms of content, getting stuff out on time, giving us some value for that WoW sub, unless you're in Argentina and the price went up. But otherwise, it's in a fine place. It's doing good. They're making changes. That's good. And screw GDKP.